Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, October 14th. Here's what's happening. President Donald Trump is back in Washington, D.C. after signing a Middle East peace agreement during a summit in Egypt on Monday. Trump departed Egypt aboard Air Force One after signing the Gaza ceasefire and addressing leaders from around the world. The 20-point agreement has already produced significant breakthroughs, with Hamas releasing all living Israeli hostages and Israel starting the process of releasing Palestinian prisoners. President Trump announced that humanitarian aid, including food and supplies, will now begin flowing into Gaza to support civilians affected by the conflict. Trump expressed optimism that the deal marks more than just a temporary truce, calling it a step toward lasting peace in the broader region, extending beyond the immediate conflict between Israel and Hamas. There's been bipartisan praise for the deal, including from former President Joe Biden. Biden posted on X that he commends the president and his team for their work to get a renewed ceasefire deal over the finish line. He said the Middle East is on a path to peace with the backing of the U.S. and around the world, and he's hopeful that peace endures. House Speaker Mike Johnson is warning the current government shutdown could be one of the longest in history. At a Monday news conference, the Republican said if Democrats keep up their obstruction, then, quote, that's where we're going to be headed. The shutdown began October 1st and is headed for its third week. The Senate is expected to vote again today on a measure to fund the government. It's already failed 7 times. Cardinal Mauro Gambetti, Archpriest of the Basilica of St. Peter, presided over a penitential rite of reparation at the main altar of the church following an act of desecration that occurred over the weekend. The rite of reparation involves the sprinkling of holy water and incensing the altar and asking for forgiveness from God for the desecration. And 5 judges have been appointed to the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faiths Tribunal, which will oversee the canonical trial of former Jesuit priest and artist Father Marko Rupnik. He's been accused by several adult consecrated women of psychological and sexual abuse. His art has been very prominent in many Catholic churches around the world, including at the St. John Paul II Shrine in Washington, D.C. Last year, the Knights of Columbus, which runs that shrine, announced they would be covering up the artwork until a verdict was reached in the priest's canonical trial. The judicial panel is made up of women and clerics who are not members of the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith and do not hold any offices in the Roman Curia. In 2023, Pope Francis lifted the statute of limitations on the accusations against the Slovenian priest. That's the news this morning. I'm Matthew Handley.